when everybody swore up and down I brought a gun to school. So I'm clearing the air right now. Fight. So what's up, y'all? It's your girl Lonnie Chanel. I'm back here with another YouTube video for you guys. I told y'all I will be coming back. My next video, it should be a wig install video that I'm gonna be doing. So stay tuned for that. And this is not my best work. I just slapped it on and did something for the video. But today I have a special video for y'all. I have a story time. And y'all, I was really debating if I wanted to do this story time because this story time is it's really all over the place. Like, I don't even know where to start. I'm kind of bad at telling stories. So just bear with me as I go. But I'm not going to waste you guys time, obviously. So let's just get straight into this video so y'all can see what's going on. So as y'all can see by the title, this is a story time of me almost getting arrested at like seventh grade. I want to say 7th or 8th grade, one of the two. Me and this girl is not cool anymore, like, but it's not because of the situation that this occurred, even though it should have been. I'm just one of those type of people. I give people chances after chances after chances, and then I just be like, okay, no more chances for you. So I want to say I was going to a school. It was this middle school. It was kind of, popular or whatever. I was going to this middle school, and I had just got enrolled. I've been going there for a little minute. I just really didn't like that school much, but, I was always into trouble at that school all the time and it was never me causing the trouble. Let's make that very clear. I had a friend that, we're gonna call her, what's the name? What's the name should I call her? We're gonna call her TT, okay? I got a friend, she's go by TT or whatever, and I'm gonna tell you the story what led up to what actually happened and occurred. So in this neighborhood, crazy, I still live in the same neighborhood, y'all, but I ended up getting a phone call from my friend or whatever, and supposedly she had got kicked out. She had been sleeping from friend house to friend house because she had found out she was pregnant. So her mom was not going for that shit. So she was like, oh yeah, you need to go and get the hell up of my house. You want to make these babies and all this stuff? Go. So she kicked her out, and she had been staying with her baby dad and other friends, house hopping and stuff like that. So, mind you, she ain't never house hopped over here. I'm going to get to that part though. So fast forward, she had been staying with someone that she thought was her friend. And fast forward, they ended up jumping her at that house. Like, she ended up getting set up. I don't know what happened because I wasn't there, but she ended up, I'm going based on what she told me, she ended up getting set up at that house. Like, they set her up and made it seem like she can go live and stay over there and stuff like that. And so she went over there, and then I want to say like 2 hours later they jumped her and stuff like that, and they put her out. And she was saying she got set up. She had called me crying, like she was crying and yelling and screaming, and I couldn't really understand what she was saying. Mind you, I'm only in the 7th grade, all this stuff. Oh, but this girl, she was like 2 years older than me, so she was a sophomore. I had no business being friends with her when I'm in 7th grade and she is a sophomore. But I met her at elementary school, and in that elementary school, she had flunked so many times that she ended up being in my grade. So anytime I had her in class or anything, it was because she had failed that many times. So, like, we was overlooking that because nobody was really in her business as far as to know her age and stuff like that. But that ended up coming out later. That's how we kind of met each other. In case y'all wondering how the age difference got to that and how y'all met each other with that type of age difference. They ended up jumping her. She called me crying, screaming over this phone, and I couldn't really understand her, so I'm trying to get her to calm down and stuff like that. Say they set her up, they jumped her and stuff like that. So I'm just like, dang, like, I'm feeling bad because this is my friend. Mind you, I was blindsided. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing as far as her being pregnant. I didn't know nothing as far as her getting kicked out. All of this came later. So she needed somewhere. She was basically calling me because she's like she needs somewhere to go, and it was nighttime. It was night. Like the way they did her so wrong. Like they beat her up. They like she had knots all over her face and everything. Like and then they just put her out. And then she's a really pretty girl, so for them to just put her out at nighttime, like anything could have happened to her. So I was really feeling for that girl. So she was like, "Oh, I don't have nowhere to stay and all this stuff like that. I'm in your neighborhood. I'm in your neighborhood and all this stuff." My job, I was in punishment. That's why she wasn't here originally because I was in punishment because I just kept getting in trouble at that school. Like literally, that school had nothing good for me. Like it was just crazy. So she basically said that she needs somewhere to stay and stuff and that she's in my neighborhood. So I'm like, you in my neighborhood where? She like, I'm like I'm like two streets like in front of you. So could you meet me halfway? I'm like, I can't really meet you halfway because I'm on punishment. So I would have to be very discreet about it, and I would have to sneak and all this stuff like that. So I was letting her know that, and she was like, okay, like she kind of understood and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so we staying on the phone. I met her halfway. I brought her. We walk in through the front door. As soon as we get to the front door, she bust out crying. I'm like, girl, like you know I am on punishment. You better suck it up and wait till we get into my room or something. I'm talking about as soon as we bust into my house, she's just bust out and hugs me and just start crying. And I'm just like, I'm trying to play it off, you know. I'm not trying to be like, okay, hold on, hold on. So, you know, I'm trying to play it off. So I'm just like patting her back. I'm like trying to hurry it up. I'm like, okay, 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 come on. We gotta go upstairs. We didn't even make it upstairs. We didn't make it to my room to where you could tell me what actually happened. We end up going to my room and stuff. And she's like, oh, can I shower and all this stuff? Because I don't like, pretty much she needed to shower and get herself together. I let her shower and get herself together. And as soon as she come back out, because I have my own restroom. So as soon as she came out, I'm like, girl, what the fuck happened? Like, cause she couldn't stop talking about it because she had these knots on her. Like she's a pretty girl and she had knots on her face, so I kind of understood where she was coming from because I'm like, yeah, that ain't cool. So, mind you, all these same people that jump her stay in the same neighborhood as me. So, and then the girl was 20 years old, had no business fighting us and stuff. The girl that jumped her was like 20 years old, and then she had all her cousins. So it was a 20-year-old plus all her cousins. So that was like really weird. But fast forward, she ended up telling me like, oh, my mom kicked me out because I was pregnant and I have nowhere to go, and I had been house jumping, and I'm like, okay, so where your baby dad? And she came up with something. I don't know. I guess they was getting into it for real too, to where like she couldn't stay over there either. So it was like a messed up situation for her. So I'm like, well, I can't like say you can live here because I constantly keep getting in trouble from school, and my grandma barely want me here. So um, you can just stay here as long as you can until we get caught. And I was really riding for her. I was like, shit, fuck it. Like if we get caught, we get caught. If we both get kicked out, then bitch, you ain't alone on the street by yourself. So I want to say it was like for 2 days. She ended up staying for 2 days. The first day it was a Sunday. It was a Saturday. No, it was a Sunday. I want to say school. It was Sunday, right? So I'm like, yeah, you can stay here and stuff like that. And my grandma don't come in my room and stuff because she don't. She don't come in my room or anything. She won't bother us, and if she does, she'll knock first and stuff like that, and you know, stuff like that. So she like, okay, cool. I give her some clothes to wear and stuff, and then it slits my mind that I have to go to school, like that I have school in the morning and it's a Sunday. I'm thinking in my head it was a Saturday, so I'm like, okay, she could spend the night and then when school come, I have to figure something out. Girl, no, I had school coming up the next day. Middle school, you know, I'm waking up at 6 in the morning, you know, getting ready, all this stuff. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. So next thing you know, I'm telling her, I'm like, okay, so I don't mind you staying here and stuff, like to sleep and stuff, but I was like, I got school tomorrow, so basically I was trying to say you gonna have to figure out during the school hours, you have to figure out where like you gotta go chill somewhere until I get back from school. This girl comes up with a bright idea like, oh no, I'll just go to school with you, I'll just blend in with you. Me, I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. But at the same time, I'm one of those people. I'm gonna ride for my friend regardless. So I'm like, okay, well, if that's what you want to do, then I mean, you the one who making that call. Me, I can be there. You, on the other hand, you will be considered trespassing. So I was really trying to look out for her, but she wasn't trying to look out for herself. At that point, I'm just like, well, shit. If you want to do that, then you can do that. And yeah. So the next morning come, I give her some clothes and stuff to put on and all this stuff. I give her clothes and everything. And so then I have a student ID because at the school that I went to, the middle school, they require, well, it's not they didn't require it heavily, but they was required. They wasn't strict on it, but they wanted you to wear your ID, your ID, so they can identify who you are. But they never at that school they never looked at that. They just see if you have one around your neck. Like, they never really paid attention to stuff like that. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna wear your ID. Like, she takes the student ID off my counter and she's like, okay, I'm gonna wear your ID so like I could kind of blend in more so that they could just see I had a blue band around my neck and just won't even bother me and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. I let her use my ID and stuff because I was like, okay, that's a good idea, because that is true. They don't really pay attention to that type of stuff. So you can wear my ID and stuff like that. And so we walked to the school and everything. We finally walking up to the school, and soon as we get in there, it was breakfast time. So breakfast time, you don't do nothing but walk straight to the cafeteria. And this is like the middle school that I went to, it was like a mini high school. Like, everybody, all the grade levels in the mornings was in there. It was like a mini high school. Like, she really was blending in the beginning. So that's how much people and how it was. So she was blending in the beginning and everything. So everything was going by pretty smooth and stuff until the middle of the day. Like, and some of my classes, the teacher would even, like, I would have cool teachers to where, like, my teachers would let her stay in that class, but we would lie to them and we would just be like, oh, she just a new student and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah. And she was going around telling people she was my sister. So it kind of looked bad on my end when stuff kind of hit the fan. But she was telling people that we were sisters and everything. So everybody's like, oh, that's Lonnie's sister. That's Lonnie's sister, her older sister, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, kind of chill out on it. Because, like, word getting around really fast. And then I was so in trouble with the principal that they knew me. They knew I didn't have a sister. They know I was the only girl. So they, like, out of all my siblings, they know I'm the only girl. They like, this bitch don't got no sister. She act too much like her brothers. So, yeah, no. I was telling her, like, while I was in class, I'm like, okay, so in the classes that my teacher is not, like, because I know certain teachers is not going for that shit. But then I had certain teachers, they'll just let me chill in their class, and I don't even have to be in their class. So I was telling her, I was like, okay, so my first and second period, I was like, okay, stay in the restroom. Stay in the girls' restroom until it's time, till it's the end of the class period. It's 45 minutes in each class, so just stay in here, wait, and then I'll come get you out. Or whenever you hit a bell, you can just come out the restroom and then just look for me in the hallway. Because I would take her to the nearest restroom that my class was at. So, and then during class, I'm over here raising my hand. Can I go to the restroom? Can I go to the restroom to check on her to make sure she ain't bored and make sure she good? So, I want to say we did that for like two classes. 2 classes. I'm like raising my hand, going to the restroom, checking on her. She like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just on my phone. All this stuff. I guess like by that third period, her phone dies. She didn't tell me nothing, but her phone dies. So I'm like, well, after this third period, I know your phone died, but after this third period, it'll be lunchtime, so you'll be able to sit and lunch with me like you did breakfast, and you'll be able to charge your phone. And then pretty much after lunch, we halfway done, because then I got 3 more classes, or 3 or 4 more classes. And she was like, okay. And it's so crazy how everything just fell and how everything just happened. So she's like, okay, so this third period, mind y'all, I had my own problems at that school, because I'm telling y'all, that school didn't have shit good for me, and people kept playing with me, and I was going through a lot at that time. So I was snapping on everybody, teachers, principals, police officers, like everybody, like as far as the higher ups, they knew who I was and they knew who my family was, and they just knew. So why they called me? Because supposedly, well, I'm not gonna act like I was a bad child. I was in my villain era during middle school, okay? I was in my villain era so bad, like I didn't really start chilling out until high school. But they was calling me from the front office, and me, my heart starts pounding. Like they called my name on the intercom in class, and they was like, "Hi, can you send such and such to the front office?" And I'm just like, "Oh shit!" Like I hope they did not find this girl. I hope she did not tell on me, or I hope they did not find her ass. Or I'm just thinking it was about her. They go down here. I come downstairs into the front office, and at this point, I'm just like, "Fuck it." And I go to the front office and I don't see her at first, so I'm like, okay, I guess that's a green flag, or either they have her in the back. They call me in the office and they like come in, close the door, and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay. I come in, I'm closing the door. They was like, okay, we're here to talk to you about your truancy. And I'm like, bro, I went through all this shit. I'm talking about I was scared as fuck, like finna piss on myself just for y'all to talk about some fucking truancy. And quite frankly, I wasn't even skipping. I was just coming late, and those tardies ended up equaling into absences. I don't know. That's stupid. The math was never mathing about that, and still to this day, I don't agree with that. But yeah, so they was talking about my truancy and that I need to stop going to class late because it's equal to absences, and if I don't, then my grandma's gonna have to go to court for this stuff. So I'm like, oh shit, like I damn sure don't want my grandma to go to court about me. She gonna tear my ass up. So I'm finna start taking my ass to class. So at that point, I'm like, okay, well, I'm finna just start texting her, and I'm finna just tell her like I can't keep coming late, baby. You gonna have to just keep going to these restrooms. Tell me where you at. I'm gonna meet you, and then towards the end, we can go back to my house, because that's what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to come. All of this was just so that she can be able to have a place to stay and come back to my house, because I could not leave her here by myself. Like she couldn't stay here because then my grandma obviously would be like, "Who the fuck is you?" Like if I'm not here. So obviously I had to take her with me. So as soon as we're done with the meeting, they write me a pass to go back to class. As soon as I'm walking out the office, she's walking in the office. And I'm looking at her like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing? You supposed to be in a restroom, ho. What the fuck are you doing? And then on top of that, you're not supposed to be here. You're in a hot ass area. Like you're in the front office to where the police, headquarters, everybody, like you're this is the area you're not supposed to be in. Also, this was the area I've been avoiding her. I mean, I've been telling her to avoid this whole time. So there's that. She decided to be the dumbass, and she come and she like walk right past me. But we wasn't paying attention to where like it was like to where we walked past each other, and then I turn around and I'm like, bitch. Like, and then I realized that was her type shit. So then she realized it was me. And as we in the midst of talking, I'm telling her like, come here, like, what is you doing? Like, bring your ass here. And mind you, she got a backpack. I gave her a backpack. And mind you, she got my name tag around her neck. So, and then she's talking to me. And then mind you, she walks in the office as I'm walking out. Inside the office, I don't know what the fuck for. And still to this day, I don't know what she was getting out of that. I don't know. Maybe she was trying to tell me. I don't know. But, how did I think about it? Fuck her though. So, I turn around and I'm like, girl, what you doing? And I'm like, bring your ass here. Like, I'm trying to talk low and stuff, so, like, bring your ass here. And so, the lady see me, mind you, they know me very well. So, she's like, Lonnie, go back to class. Go back to class. You already got your pass, so go back to class. And then she tried to follow behind me. So, I'm like, okay. I'm like, yes, ma'am, I'm finna go to class. So, I just turn, and I signal her. I'm like, bring your ass. Like, come here. And so she started walking towards me. And as she started walking towards me, the lady that told me to go back to class, she was like, pause, who are you? Mind you, this is the lady who took pictures of everybody ID. So I guess she know everybody face in this damn school, which is crazy because it was over thousands of kids in that school. But I guess her face did not ring a bell. So her dumb ass gonna decide instead of playing it off and just saying who your name and stuff like that, or just a fake name or whatever that sort is, this bitch gonna say some, I'm her sister, and point at me, I'm her sister. Which is cool and all, but I'm just like, bitch, at this point, you on your own because you already fucking up. So it's like, so she was like, oh, I'm her sister, and she pointing at me. And I'm just like, side-eyeing everybody, because at this point, everybody irritating at this point. Everybody in my business. Miss I just said her name. Miss didn't want to get out my motherfucking business, so I already was irritated with her. I'm already irritated with my friend because this bitch is supposed to be in a restroom and she somehow found her way to this damn office. So it's just, I was irritated with everybody. And then she's like, who are you? Who are you? I don't know you. Let me see your name tag. Give me that name tag. Because she knew that name tag wasn't hers. So she was like, oh no. So as soon as she asked for that name tag, she got scared and she started panicking. She's like, oh no, I'm her sister. And she points at me. She's like, I'm her sister. And so I'm just like, she's like, you are not her sister. I know her and her family very well. And I was just like, oh shit, like you done fucked up telling her that. Like I could have told you not to say shit. I could have. She tried to tell me. I keep saying her name. I keep saying her name. I can't be doing this if I'm doing a story time. I can't do that for real. That's like, get it together. She started panicking. She didn't want to give her the ID and stuff. So I'm like, I started walking. She's telling me, she's like, you need to walk to class. Go, because you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get in more trouble because I think you have something to do with this. And I was just like, okay. And so then she was like, go. And so then as I'm walking slow because I'm trying to get her to come on. She walking faster towards me. Oh, this is after the fact that we're gonna call her Miss Lady. We're just gonna call her Miss Lady. Okay, so this is after Miss Lady didn't decide to tell her like, come here. And she's like, I'm her sister. She's like, you're not her sister. I know her family very well, and she don't have any sisters. She instantly just darts out the door in front of me, and darts out the door and start running full speed. This girl doesn't know her way around the school, which was the dumb part. She don't know the exit because the school is, I'm not gonna lie, the school is huge. Like, for it to be a middle school, it could be a high school, like seriously. And they wasn't even using half of the school building. That's how big it was. So she started running to the area that wasn't being used, and she tried to run out that door, and she realized that door was locked. So then she just take off, and she start running to glass doors, trying to figure out which one is open, which one's gonna open and let her out. All these doors is locked. So she go upstairs. So this is when they called the school lockdown, y'all, and this is when I knew shit was getting serious. Cause she started running she started panicking really bad, and she started running everywhere, girl. Like first she was running to the doors downstairs. She couldn't find nothing downstairs, so she seen the nearest stairs. She darted upstairs. She went upstairs. I'm downstairs watching everything because the school is that big to where you can like literally watch her. I'm standing here. I'm watching like this. I'm just like. And I'm just like, what the fuck? They told me not to run with her. Well, they was like, don't go nowhere. You don't go nowhere. And at this point, they already grabbed me, so I couldn't even run with her. And then, what the fuck was I gonna... What was I gonna look like running with her? You know? So I'm just thinking to myself, I'm ended up texting her. She running, taking off everywhere. I'm telling her, I'm like... And then I started yelling. And this is what get myself in trouble. Because I'm trying to tell her. And I'm like, you're going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. I'm like, the door is over here. You're running over here. So then at that point, they're like, okay, come to the front office. They're like, come here. You come here. So like she darts out the door and stuff. And girl, after she dart, that's when they had called the security. Security wasn't even on standby with their ghetto ass. They was in their office, so they had to go run and get the security. So I'm like, I hope while they run and get the security, she hurry up and flee out the door. And then she started running towards the other direction. So as she's running towards the other direction, I'm yelling. I'm telling her, you're running the wrong way. You're running the wrong way. She's still running the wrong way. I don't know if she just wasn't listening or she just zoned out. I really can't tell y'all, guys. I don't know. But once I start saying that, they was like, okay, she has something to do with it, so you come here. So I was ducking her face. Y'all already know my name. Y'all know my address. Like, y'all got all my information. So I'm not even finna do this. At this point, I'm just not gonna give y'all the information that y'all want or need. And they put me in the office. They locked me inside the office. They locked all the doors of the school, and then they have on the intercom, and they cut the lights off. Like, they did the fucking most, and it was so crazy. And they was like, oh, we're going on lockdown and stuff. This is when everybody swore up and down I brought a gun to school. So I'm clearing the air right now, because didn't nobody bring no pole to school. Why the fuck would I do that at middle school? How would I have access? Well, I'm not even gonna answer that question, but no, I didn't bring no gun to school. I'm clearing the air. And then y'all didn't even know if y'all wanted to say I brought a gun or a taser, because I even was hearing y'all talking about I brought a taser to school, and no, I don't do that. I'm clearing the air now. It was not no gun, no taser. It was my friend running loose like a fucking lunatic. TT just was going crazy, running everywhere, and eventually she finds her way to the front door. Like, as she was running everywhere while everybody was on lockdown, y'all, they had to been chasing that girl for a long time, because I'm hearing everything on a walkie-talkie. They not even talking to me. They trying to get her first. And they just had me waiting in the office. And they're like, what's her name? What's her name? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I came up with this lie. I'm like, we just was walking. I just met her, and we just was walking together, and we both go to this school. She was like, well, she's not enrolled here. So, I'm just playing dumb. I'm like, well, she is enrolled here, like, stuff like that. And they're like, no, she not. No, she not. So I'm just like, well, I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what to tell y'all. It was like, well, I know what you could tell us. You could start off telling us her name. And I was like, I don't know her name. I just met her. Like, this is the story I'm giving. The story I'm giving everybody. And it was like, well, y'all walked in the school together. And I'm like, yeah, because I met her, like, on the way to school. Like, I'm just coming up with everything, right? I'm hearing everything on the intercom. They like, she's running here, she's running. They're saying all the street names and stuff. So I'm like, damn, like, she's off the school supremacy. She's off the school supremacists, and y'all are still chasing her outside the school. Like, y'all, now at that point they was dedicated into getting her ass. I don't know if she was giving them a run for real. I don't know, but yeah. So they was really trying to get her, and like, I'm talking about she was running in neighborhoods. Like, she was in my neighborhood, because that's how close, because I walk to school. It's a school right there and in my neighborhood. So that's how we got to school, by walking. So she started running back. So in my head, I'm like, fuck, I hope she remembers. I hope she remembers, like, the house. Even though I'm thinking to myself, like, how would she even get inside my house? So I'm just thinking, like, damn, I hope she finds somewhere to run to and get safe and text me, and then we can just talk after that, or see what's going on, or what we finna do. But they ended up, I hear on the walkie-talkie, we got her. And I'm like, fuck. Like, oh, nah. I feel like some shit finna go down for real. As soon as they talk about they got her, I was just like, damn. Like, I was really hoping they did not do that shit. So they end up getting her, and they bringing her back to school. The school. And I'm like, me personally, if y'all wanted her out the school, y'all, as soon as y'all chased her out the school, y'all should have just left it at that. But, I guess they chased her down. And they brought her all the way back, and they was like, they didn't put us in the same room, but I heard her in the other room, because she was yelling at the top of her fucking lungs, like, panicking, yelling. She was like, I'm pregnant. I have a baby coming. I don't need to be in this. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do this, and all this stuff like that. And then she was like, I don't know her. I just met her. So I'm like, good. Like, we both on the same page. Good. We both on the same page. And so she ended up breaking. Like, later on, she was like, okay, I know her from da-da-da. Like, she told them, like, she knew me since elementary, and I was helping her and all this stuff. And I was just like, damn, like, I had no comments. It was fucking crickets. I don't know what to say. Like, after I got caught up lying, at this point, I just had nothing to say no more. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to do nothing. Bitch, if anything, I wanted to fight, because y'all in my business. So now I want to fight. I want to fight the principal. I want to fight the police officer and everything. So the police officer was like, if you don't tell us her name or anything, I can give you a trespassing I can arrest you for trespassing or something like that. And then I also had this counselor. Shout out to her. I'm not gonna say her name, but she is so real because it's like she understood why I acted the way I acted because I was going through a lot. She understood me very, very well. So it's like, yeah. So I was in the counselor's office and she was like, "What is happening? What is going on?" Like she was always on my side, always trying to figure out and get me out of trouble. And so I just was telling her, I'm just like, just was trying to help my friend and stuff like that. And she could hold some water, y'all, because she ain't told shit. She was letting me still lie, and she knew the truth, and she wasn't saying nothing. So shout out to her. And I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to get her in trouble, but you a real one, for real. So, yeah, so that happened. She was like, okay, I know her from elementary and all this stuff. So then the police come in here and he was like, you know, I can arrest you for trespassing, right? Because you said you didn't know her. And she said she know you from elementary and all this stuff like that. And then I look and my what's her name? My counselor in the back was like, I guess she's telling me not to say nothing. So I just was like, just looking at him like, and he kept trying to get words out of me, and I was just like, you got the truth. Like, what the fuck I'm finna sit up here and talk to you about what I'm gonna sit up here and talk to you for? Like, she was like, and then when he left, he said, only time you want to talk to them is when your parents or your guardian is up here. Don't ever talk to them because they can try to put you, lock you away for anything, like any BS. So I was like, thank you for telling me, girl. She ended up getting arrested because she was trespassing, and I felt so bad because she didn't go to that school, and I felt so bad. They ended up sending me home from school. I went home really early, so yeah, I ended up going home early, and I remember getting a text from her like she was like, I'm okay and all this stuff. Then she backdoor and asked to come back. So I'm like, bitch, no, you can't come back. You sat up here. You can't hold no motherfucking water, bitch. Like, you sat up here and told them that we were supposed to be on the same fucking page, and you broke. And then on top of that, she was like, she was like, I wouldn't even be up here if it wasn't for her. Like, just completely throwing me under the bus. Like, I was trying to help her. And, like, she was like, I wouldn't be up here if it was for her. She the one who told me to come up here. She the one who brought me up here. I'm like, bitch, you a lie. You suggested to come to the school, and you said you would be okay with waiting in them restroom stalls, baby. It was never me, bitch. I was telling you need to figure out somewhere to go until them school hours is up, and then you can come back. But I never told them that because then it just would be looking like we both was telling on ourselves. So if anything, I was just letting her talk and say everything because I was already feeling stupid that I got caught up in a lie. So yeah, she ended up getting arrested. And I don't know if they like arrested her or they dropped her off home because she ended up texting me like literally that same day. And she was like, yeah, I'm back at my mom's. My mom let me back and all this stuff. And she was like, but I don't feel safe here. I mean, I don't feel comfortable here because she's still mad, and she's even more mad that the police came and all this stuff. And so she was like, can I come back? And I'm like, come back? The fuck? Ain't no coming back. I ended up getting a CTW. But yeah, that's the ending of this video. So if y'all like the story time, please like, share, and subscribe for more. Comment below on what other story times or videos that I should do, and I'll be back in like a week.